This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hi, it's Nixalina. Welcome back to another episode of me. This is a very interesting episode. Not covered it before. Been wondering whether I should touch upon it or not. And I decided tonight's the night I'm going to fucking do it. It is called, Will I Ever Want Motherhood? Now, a reel of mine recently went viral. Was not my plan. I was just dancing, as one does, in a DJ rave club thing, and living my life. And a lot of the comments that came in was about me being my age and no kids, right? From ugly, bald men across the globe, whatever. Now, what was interesting was this lack of kids running theme as a negative. And I thought this is what sparked this episode, but it's also something, I talked about my egg freezing journey in season 8. If you haven't listened, please go back. I did some checkups and whatnot in Singers about freezing my eggs. Was it last year, end of last year? And then I was going to explore the option. Now, I said I was going to explore the option. If you picked up on that, well done. I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready for motherhood. And I don't know if I want to go through the egg freezing process because I don't really know if I'm ever going to want to be a mum. Now, let's delve into my sexual relationship history as to where I've got to this angle of mindset. I am 37. I'm 38 in May. I know, I look fantastic. Thank you for the compliments. But I've waited and waited for my motherhood gene to kick in, and it never kicked in. So, early 20s, let's tell them now. I was in and out of relationships in my 20s, but I was career-focused, right? Super career-focused. I went balls out on my brand. I was so hyper sex in London City, becoming an editor, going to press events, just making a name for myself. And it paid off big time. And I was also a full-time editor as well as doing my own brand. So I worked. Like, I would be on a commuting train back from London, back to my flat, writing blogs on my website, having spent all day at a laptop, editing work. Like, it was a lot. I had no qualms about not wanting to have kids yet. Like, it wasn't even a thing. Wasn't even a thing. Like, 20s, kids? No. And I'd not met a man either that I deemed worthy enough to be a father of my kids. Fast forward to my longest relationship, which was 4.5 years. I was pushing for marriage and kids. Now, I don't know why I pushed that, because deep down, I knew he wasn't a good father material, because he already had a child that he wasn't a good father to, right? So I think I got very wrapped up in turning 30. And turning 30 and you must have kids, family, marriage, kids. I got sucked into that societal norm. And I'd also already got the career success. I'd moved to Singapore, an editor of a magazine here. Life's great. It's time. But I never really sat down with myself and thought, do you really want to be a mother? Because it's life-changing. Fast forward, and sorry if you're not into abortions, if you're anti-abortion, you're not my people anyway. I then got pregnant with my fiance, and he wanted to keep it, and I didn't. And I was 34. Now, the reason the age, I am bringing the age in a lot to it, because the body clock, it matters. Females, reproductive system, we all know as with age, your fertility decreases. Your ability to bounce back from birth decreases. Your risks of having issues with the birth increases. So by 34, I was cornerstone, like a geriatric mum. I think 35 is still the geriatric. You're in your, this might be an issue age range. It's bollocks. In my opinion, it's bollocks. I'm not a doctor. I'm not professional, but fuck you, right? So at 34, I'm engaged. I'm with a very well-off man who I loved, and I loved him. I loved him very much. I'm in a beautiful penthouse with him. We got dog, 2 cats. I'm pregnant. He wants me to keep it. He wants to be a younger dad. He was younger than me. And I said no. And I went through with a termination. Why did I say no? It didn't feel right. I weren't ready. I weren't ready to be a mum. I didn't know him long enough to know he'd be a dad. And there was a few signs popping up for me at the time where I thought, I'm not sure about this. I had reservations. I had gut instinct, girls and guys. It was in there. It was deep in there. And fucking lo and behold, months after my termination, I did find out he'd already cheated. So I ran a mile, and what a great fucking life decision. And I sit here often and I think I could have had like a two-year-old, a 3-year-old. I could have an attachment to him forever. I don't hate him anymore. I've got no emotional attachment. Like I could sit with him and have a beer. But yeah, I did. I chose not to. Now listen, God, this is too much information. Fuck it. My partner, after that, we used protection. It failed. I got pregnant again. Yep. So I was pregnant last year. Fucking hell. Think of that. Yeah. January 20, I was pregnant last year. Again. And again, chose a termination. I was 36. So that's a lot of tea spill. It's very heavy. If you are anti-abortion, you're going to hate my fucking guts. And it's something I've chosen to live with. The reason I said no the second time was because we both weren't ready. We had really good discussions about it. And financially, he was not in a good place. So, and I just weren't ready. I use protection, people. I don't know why my body seems to be insanely fertile, but it keeps happening. I say it keeps happening. It's twice. I'm being dramatic, but it shouldn't have happened. Okay. And I'm like, fuck. And both times I end up pregnant, I can literally count down to that one night. I know exactly what night it was. And I'm like, how? One time? Really? Yep. So, yes, second termination. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. And I'm going to be honest, as always, across the board. I'm always honest, you know this. I wasn't ready. Again. 36, I'm still not ready, okay? And thank God I went through with that second decision, because the monster that came out of the woodwork, it would have been, I would be in hell. I'd be in living hell right now. Let me tell you that. I do not regret either of those life decisions. But what makes me laugh is that, like, people see me objectively on the internet like, oh, bless her, 37, no kids, oh, boo-hoo, no one wants to do no, bollocks, they do want, I'm the one that says no. And honestly, I just might say no forever. I've always been a huge animal girl, and I go and do my animal sanctuaries. I I mean, like, if I could have 5 dogs, 20 cats, an otter, a beaver. Oh, beavers are so cute. Beavers are so cute. Like, go build your little dam, block some water, cute. Oh, too cute. I gotta have a tortoise, a cockatiel. I want it all. I want a pet raven. If I went and died living on an animal sanctuary, I'm died happy. Really, genuinely. It's my, being with animals is me. I'm a fucking animal. So I don't feel the need to push myself to become a mum. Now listen, am I ruling it out? No. Were there moments where I thought about it? Yes. But I don't know if you guys have watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love. It's iconic. I'm assuming lots more girls than guys have watched it. That's just me being a stereotypical wanker. Apologies. Eat, Pray, Love. But the literary agent who has a newborn turns around to Elizabeth, the protagonist, and she says, Liz, having a baby is a bit like getting a face tattoo. You kind of need to be 100% committed. And that stuck with me because it's so true. And I have my niece and my nephew, my sister. My sister's also a career woman. We both grew up very career successful, very, very, both of us. And she's now a mother of 2. And I fucking love them to death. My niece and my nephew just bring so much light into my life. My best friend is a mother of twins, and I love them to death. And I'm so good with children. Like, children love, it's not like I'm bad with kids. I don't sit there and like hold it by its fucking bib as it swings in the air. No. I make such good connections with children and babies and all that jazz. But it's just whether I want to be a mum, and I'm still not there. And I turned 38. And it's just not kicking in for me. If anything, we're going right the other way, which makes sense. You know, genetically, reproductive, I get it. We're going right the other way. I have no idea if this is going to be something I will ever explore. And let me tell you, if I don't, I won't fucking regret it. Because I've had every opportunity to go down the motherhood road. And each time, I've declined. And each time, it has been the biggest blessing I've ever. The best decision I've ever made was those 2 decisions. And that sounds awful, but it's facts. Not only do I not regret them, I am so thankful my gut instinct kicked in both times and went, nah, not right now. Maybe in a year, not right now. There was just something amiss. And yeah, hindsight showed me I was bang on the money both times. Don't regret it. Will not regret it if I choose not to have kids. And honestly, a part of me goes, do you know what? You could hit 40, 41, and if you're not married or ever, get a sperm donor. Get a surrogate. I will probably freeze my eggs, to be fair. I probably will this year. Just for the peace of mind. I think, I've just got to get round to it, you know. I've got a lot going on. I'm moving home. I'm launching a novel. I'm opening another restaurant. I'm hopefully doing possibly another podcast. I mean, there's a lot going on. But yes, I have no regrets, and I don't know if I will ever want motherhood. There you go. That's basically I could have done that in like 1 minute, couldn't I? Will I ever want motherhood? Today's episode. Don't know. Probably not. The end. Oh, you guys love me. You love my waffle. I yap. Anyway, for everyone out there who is in the same boat, 20s, you don't have to wait till 30s for the decision. You could be early 20s and be like, nah, not becoming a mum. And I've met men, very recently even, who are like, don't want to be a dad. Don't want kids, don't want to be a dad. Oh, it's working both ways. This is a movement, people. It's a movement. If you don't want kids, you don't have kids, and you don't see them in the future, you are not abnormal. Please do not go around thinking there's something wrong with you because you've declined becoming a parent, okay? There isn't. And it's a lot more common now than you think. Very heavy topic. And if you need me, please, for this one, slide into my DMs on Instagram at Nixalina, Nixalina. And I will endeavour to share opinions, thoughts and advice on this one. But yeah, I'm going with probably not. And you know what? I'm all right with that. And that's the end of this episode. Thank you all for listening. And I will hopefully see you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, Nixalina.com. That's Nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.